You! You have to
You have to shoot each other.
Morta, Maria del Mar, finito.
We're from Civil Values Foundation.
We are the three of us from Youth for Youth, from Cuneo.
I'm from a Bulgarian organization in Goce Delchev. Its name is Community Council for Education.
From Latvia, from the Latvian Young Farmers Club.
It's Youth Forum Bitula.
We are working for the youth wing of the Liberal Democrat Party.
From the Council of Pilev.
SWINT agency. It's about educational activities, youth educational activities.
I'm the manager of the Youth Center Krško.
I come from the organization Mladinski Centar Krško, Youth Center Krško.
Ceglar, Mladinski Centar Krško, it's Youth Center Krško, Slovenia. And actually I'm like the leader of this study visit.
This was the first time that we organized the study visit.
This is my first study visit, so it was a really good experience for me to see how this functions. And I think it's a really good way to exchange good practices with people from other countries who are also youth workers.
The visit in the correctional center and cooking with the children there, it was very nice. And actually I was shocked in the good way from the correctional center, because in my country the correctional centers are like real prison. But here it was so nice, so clean, and the children were so polite. So they had many different activities, like playing basketball, football, cooking, acting, and so on.
For me, the best experience were playing football with the Roma in the Roma village, with the children. For me, this is one of the best.
From Radeče, for sure, we saw how easy to work with people with less opportunities and challenging young people who made a lot of mistakes in their lives. And the Youth Point Veliki Kamen is for sure one of the best examples of how the local community can work together and make something really good happen for the young people in the rural environment.
The correctional house was pretty interesting to see the method the youth points are using here to involve youngsters was pretty interesting, and also to talk with other people from other nations was pretty interesting to discover different attitudes and different way to involve youngsters. So
I liked how we went to the correctional house for young people. It was a nice opportunity to like get interacted with people who we usually don't like to see and avoid.
I like the interaction with the teenagers from the correctional center.
Yeah,
I felt that they really felt very happy that other people came to spend time with them, and also with the Roma children from that village. It was very nice.
I don't know, I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm learning a lot because it's true that this study visit has had a lot of good practices, but with good examples. I'm saying that there are things you can't really do because they are working here. So that's a good experience.
I liked your youth center because you are doing lots of things. You are working hard, and you're doing a nice job.
It's working wonderfully.
Too developed. Seems unbelievable.
Yeah, it's quite impressive how you manage all these youth spots, and how you can manage everything.
I was impressed of all this work you do here. I think that Krško isn't so very big region, but you have a lot of youth points and you work a lot with children.
Youth points, youth centers.
Yes, youth centers.
Yeah.
Perfect. We don't have in our country, so we took an example how we can make in our country something like that, because really it's something amazing. Yes.
It's incredible. We can only dream for this kind of center.
Amazing.
The study visit was not meant only for sharing good practice for our work to the other participants, but the meaning of this study visit was that we know about good practices in other countries, how they work and how does the local policy and national policy in other countries work. So this is for us very important that we got information about youth work in other countries and which part of this can be used in our work. This was one view, and the other view was that through the eyes of the participants we saw where we have lack of our programs, so we can improve our work.
Well, this will be interesting experience to gain from, because the knowledge that we acquired here, I can use it first in my personal life, which is good also, and second in the community, as of like, for example, the good examples that we saw here as civil society, like people joining together and doing something. This will be interesting to apply it in Bulgaria, but in a different way, because I don't think that it's applicable the way it is here. The same will be applicable back home.
Also
Different ways.
Also, we saw the relationships between the MC Krško and the youth points, and we can try to make something like this in our country to cooperate the work of the youth centers.
Especially that my main field of work now is international programs. I think I can use it in all sorts of ways. Maybe one example is when I accept my next EVS, I know it's a person with fewer opportunities. And it's going to be challenging, so I can take a lot from the home resocialization home from Radeče for sure. A lot of methods from there. That's one field, and for sure all the youth exchanges that I will do in my future, I will need all of this experience that I was given by other participants and the activities we did here.
There's basically what this has provided us with is just a unit of measure comparing basically what we saw here to the things that are happening back home. So there's, if anything, what's striking is the difference in infrastructure basically when it comes to the tools that young people have here and they might be lacking back home. So this is like the most striking difference, and I suppose that's a key issue that should be worked on.
There are many I learned in this study visit many ways of like creating a youth spot in the middle of nowhere basically, and how it's actually pretty hard to find volunteers to participate in those youth center activities.
In my future projects, because there's so much ideas, so much things we've learned here, that I think it's worth to try to do the same in Spain, to maybe a little bit different, but I think it's good.
We are amazed with the volunteers you have. For us, has been really surprising, because in our country it's more difficult to find volunteers. Techniques or something to fundraise money to do more activities with young people?
For me, the most valuable was actually the free time, or maybe informal part of the study visit, as I had a time to like talk and like to cooperate, to like invent some new ideas with other youth workers. So actually, there are some ideas going on. So I think we will cooperate with Spain, with Spanish participants, because they have like some NGOs who work with youngsters who have cancer. So the idea is to maybe in the next 2 or 3 years to organize a common youth exchange that would involve like youngsters who have like health issues. And also with some others we talked about EVS, and actually some of the participants who are younger than 30 years old, they ask us if they can come to EVS, to MC Krško.
2, 3. Thank you,
Thank you Erasmus Plus.
Thank you Erasmus Plus for the wonderful study visit.
Yes.
Thank you Erasmus Plus.
Благодарим Erasmus Plus.
Благодарим.
Erasmus Plus,
thank you. We love you.
Thank you Erasmus Plus, because like you are changing with this program. European Commission is really changing lives. Not only for the youngsters, but like as a study visit, like the most impact is on the youth leaders, you know, and those youth leaders, because they work every day with young persons, so they will like really share this experience and really good experience from all the Europe. They will share it in the local community. So really thank you.
This is the story of my pony, Tron, my pony, let my pony, back, my pony. This is the story of my pony. This is the story of my pony, of my little beast. This is the story.